Welcome back. It's time to begin the qualifying session. If you missed practice, you haven't missed much. Bauer Marco was quickest from Rivki Fakuse in second, so Mercedes won 2, then Franco Gamba in third. So yeah, if you missed the team news, Ferrari will retain Jake Galloway and Chris Chatfield. Renault will retain no, not Renault. Renault driver Evan Byrne will move to Red Bull next season to replace Franco Gamba. Those are team news. I'm Robert Turinski, lead commentator. Alongside me is Ben Zwallinger. So without further ado, let's get qualifying on the road. Let's start with a prediction for who's going to be eliminated in Q1. And I'll start with you, Ben. Who are your predictions? Who's going to be eliminated? Who's getting the chop?
I think the two Haas and the two Williams cars might be an obvious choice, but I haven't seen too much of a pace from. I don't really. The only thing I'm really sure about is the two Haas and two Williams cars it's eliminated from the qualifying session. But
You need to give me an exact prediction. You need to give me 6 cars.
okay, so the two Haas cars, the two Williams cars, and I would rather say a surprising thing than in instance. I think maybe one of the Ferraris of either Galloway or Chatfield, and I and I think the AlphaTauri of Miklos. Sorry, Mickey, but
All right, here's my prediction. I'm thinking both Williams, both AlphaTauris, one Haas, and the one Aston Martin will be getting the chop. That's it.
I think made pretty much about a bit of a bold prediction there, and after saying that one of the Ferraris might get dropped in Q1, but let's wait and see how things will turn out with you.
Well, it's an interesting prediction. Probably wrong, but who am I to judge?
Agreed.
As we have a lot of cars out on track, Felix Sontag will be the first one to begin a lap. And Sontag, he didn't get much running in practice. There was a crash. He made a mistake and hit the wall. I'm not that sure which Williams made the mistake first. One of the Williamses made a mistake and hit the wall at the Parabolica, and the other collected the debris. I think Sontag was the one who made the initial mistake. I'm sure he's putting all that behind him and getting ready to launch his qualifying effort. Let's see what Felix Sontag can do on an onboard lap of Monza. Here we go. Here begins Sontag, his lap. It's a long run, not very into it. Philo, the first chicane, maxing out at about 315 kilometers an hour, 16, braking hard and going all the way down to second gear, keeping it in second through the second part of the chicane, and taking some curb on the outside there. Now towards the Curva Grande, nice and easy flat, keep it as tight on the inside as you can, because they will switch to the outside, the racing line, for the second chicane. Variante della Roggia, very tricky to get right. His breakdown hard, all the way to second gear at 120 kilometers an hour. It's an alright run for Sontag, 35.3 in the first sector for the German. In towards the last one, down should up to fifth, and then get back into seventh gear for going down to third for the second last mo. Maximize the traction you get on the Curva del Seraglio and go down the hill using all the all the torque of that car, all the power. In towards Variante Sky, 51.3 for Felix Sontag. Third part of chicane is the most straightforward, and then all that remains is the Curva Parabolica. Or, if you want to be technical, the Curva Albuquerque Boreto, but we're going to stick with Parabolica. Thank you very much. Very difficult to master it, and you need to get as early on the throttle as you can. Use all the track on exit, millimeters away from the grass for Sontag. He's maximizing his lap. What time is the German driver going to say as he crosses the line? Is a 1 minute 20.6, better than the best lap in practice. Jake Galloway, can he beat that? Why? Sure he can by 0.2 of a second. Armarca next. He smashes it, goes to the 1 minute 19s. Just a second as Gal is in 4th place and you take over.
Here comes Griffiths, goes 5th, faster. As it starts being Pillory and Gal. Willows goes 7th. Ernan goes on to provisional pole. Here comes Julius Anderson, and he slots into 9th position. Daniel Fraser goes off the 3rd, surprising right from him. Here comes Joseph Willows, goes 5th. Franco Gumbo goes up to 3rd, and Franco Lopez goes up to 4th. And here comes Roman Quad. Let's see who he can slot in. He slots in last place in 14th. Here comes Roland Mocher. He goes 9th. And Patel goes 4th. Here comes Evan Byrne. Thanks to that sound. Evan Byrne crosses the line. And he goes on to
He goes
provisional pole
provisional,
so far. Here comes Kirishima
not pole
DeRosa.
because this is an turbine pole. Just he goes fastest. As Rosa goes P9, Robert Cruz Chatfield. Eighth fastest for him as Aurora Chung goes into the top 10. She goes 7th. George Rogue. This could be a dunker. It is. He goes fastest by 8/100 of a second. David Kupok, last one to complete this run. He goes 18th. So at the moment, the cars in the drop zone are Griffiths, Kupok, Quag.
Yeah, man. Well, your voice has been cut out a little bit here.
Sorry about that. Nevertheless, we got some predictions in the chat, and by some I mean just the one. Funkchanok is saying both Williams, both AlphaTauri and Aston, and an Alfa Romeo. Interesting.
That is interesting.
But Benz, it seems like George Roque has woken up after subpar showing in practice. He's taken out the sandbags and finally starting to push her a little bit for real.
We can say the same thing for Jesus Perrinan, who's currently sitting in third.
Has
He was pretty much sandbagging the whole practice sessions. There's a bit of a kerfuffle there between the Haas cars and Jamie Griffiths as Wilson pushes Griffiths' car into
Wilson
the
is going to court
bottom.
for killing those marshals.
Oh jeez. Now that is something that I haven't experienced in a while.
Not marshals, sorry, mechanics. But yeah, Wilson and Griffiths are quite literally inside each other's car right now. So now, not sure what much else I can say, but Wilson is now facing through Griffiths' car, and now she's being moved towards her garage, facing through the wall. Incredibly quick footwork there from her mechanic. And then comes the Lamborghini of Laura Chung. Hmm. Yeah, Chung being wheeled back into the garage as well, Bance. And what do you think of the session so far?
Well, we haven't seen too much of a surprise dropouts in Q1. And so far, it's pretty much the
Not much of a
same.
surprise, man. Quack is last. I sure
Well,
didn't expect that.
maybe that, but I think he's got the pace to improve here, but if not, then that will be a bit of a surprise here. Especially how seeing how well he performed in recent races.
Yeah, nevertheless, Armarkai is back out on track in the Mercedes. He is currently for a fast test. He should have no problem making it through to Q2, but he's going back out on track, of course. Let's not forget, though, spare car ban is in place starting with this season, so if you crash it at any point, that'll be the end for you. So I think Kai is just aware he just needs to keep it tight. He doesn't even need to improve. No matter what happens from here on out, he will go through to the next session. As fun fact, him and Franco Gamba have the exact same lap time, but Kai is ahead because he said first. Not like it's going to matter for the grid, because they're both going to be in Q2 either way.
I think you can see one of the Ferraris coming behind Amar cars. As now the Mercedes driver starts his second flyer, and he doesn't need to worry about anything. And he just has to keep it on the track and try to improve. If he doesn't improve, that's fine. He's still going to get into Q2 as things stand.
Yeah, that's true. Ka is on a lap right now, and why don't you take us through it?
Okay then. Here we go into the first sector, the Lord Chicane. He's up on an improvement of 38 milliseconds up on his personal best, and he's coming on up into some traffic. One of the Ferraris is currently ahead of him, so I'm not sure if he's going to get held up by the Ferrari or he's going to get slipstream from it. It's sure. But let's see how much he will be held up by the cars that are on the cars in front, because I saw one of Williams' cars ahead. Only 13 milliseconds up on his personal best in the second sector, and that doesn't look like he's going to look like going to improve anytime soon so far. But we will see. Coming into Parabolica into the last corner, uh, full throttle onto the start finish line, and he's gaining some slipstream from the car in front. Let's see what he's going to improve. No, he doesn't improve. He stays where he is, which is fourth place. Here comes Jake Galloway.
No
He doesn't
improvement.
improve
Nicholas
either,
Gal
and
could
here comes
improve. He does. 15th fastest he goes as Joseph Willows is next to cross the line, currently in 13th. A little bit close to the danger zone than you would like. So let's see if he can improve that. He can, but only by one place. He goes 12th fastest. Here we have Roland Mochin, currently in the drop zone in P16. Now he's not in the drop zone P9. Very solid improvement. As Roman Quag goes only up at P17. Sorry, Mochin was not in the drop zone. He was 16th, but he's definitely not in the drop zone now. As Anderson goes 15th fastest. Escapes the drop zone for now. Gamba doesn't improve. What about Zontag? He does get himself up at 12th place. Wilson goes 11th. Very decent improvement just behind your teammate as Andre Federi doesn't improve. Franco Lopez doesn't improve. That's a shocker. But he is safe either way. He's in P7, so I think you'll give too much of them about that. As David Kupak is next to cross the line, currently down in last. Of course, he is confirmed to stay at AlphaTauri, but I'm sure he wants to get a better lap than this. Which he does, goes up to 14th, decent improvement as Fraser doesn't improve. What about Patel? Patel does, he goes up to 4th place. Here we have Kirishima De Rosa, now he goes 15th. Oh, he's quite close to the danger zone as Griffiths doesn't improve. Chatfield doesn't improve either. And Galloway is right outside the danger zone. So if he loses one spot, he's going to be in some real trouble as Evan Byrne, currently not an improvement. The man in second place stays there. Just behind his, what we presume will be his future teammate. Of course, Byrne has been confirmed at Red Bull for next season, but Roke hasn't been confirmed yet. However, he is the favorite for that drive, so perhaps you could say it's only a matter of time before Roke and Byrne are confirmed to be Red Bull's two drivers for next season. But at the moment, it's only Byrne who got the confirmation. As Quag still in the drop zone, he's down in 20th. Vance.
That's pretty much surprising for the French driver. And the another surprising thing is that Galloway is currently just outside the drop zone. So if someone behind him sets a better lap, and there's another Haas Williams kerfuffle there. So if someone like Willows can set a faster time than this, then a good chance that we might lose one Ferrari in Q1 already.
Well, he can still improve. Let's not forget that bit.
Yeah, true that. I think the
Either way,
fireworks.
Wilson is once again glitching at the end of the pits or chilling.
There's the Lamborghini right beside him.
Yeah, that's true.
Looks like the Hasses and the Williams is making some kind of kerfuffle here in Q1 already, which is an interesting thing to see.
Nevertheless, here we have Patel in his garage. He's getting ready to go out soon enough. Very comfortably in the safe zone, so he's not going to have much to worry about. The drivers have kept it clean so far in Q1, so that's a good sign. Laura Chung is also getting ready to go out in the Lamborghini. It looks like Franco Gamba will be the first one out on this run, Vance.
He's currently in safe place, so he doesn't have to worry about too much as things stand at the moment. So he might get a good shot getting into Q3 and maybe get a good shot for pole position. That's basically what he needs if you want to extend his lead in the championship, which is as I mentioned in the practice, almost just one race big. So he wants to maximize this weekend as well and wants to finish ahead of all of his compatriots so far, which he doesn't really did. But let's see if we can improve on this final runs to finish in a bit of a better position to show that Rebel has got the pace to take pole position in Q3.
Well, it's still a little early. Nobody from the top drivers goes fully 100% in Q1 alone. So, yeah, could be something to keep an eye on. As Franco Gamba will begin his lap, we still got five or so cars, six cars yet to go out for their last run. Griffiths has just gone out, of course, with plenty of time. There could be some traffic for some people on these last runs. So, let's see what's going to happen. And our car has just gone out. I think that's Lopez, so it's only three people who are waiting for to go out. Gamba begins his last flying lap of Q1. And our car has gone out, so it's just Byrne and De Rosa. Or still in the pits, De Rosa in a little bit of a tricky spot because, well, he's just gone out now. But as I was saying, if he loses two places, he'll be out. So McLaren have been proactive and decided to send him out just to make sure he can get that improvement in and guarantee safety. As Franco Gamba in the first sector, he is down by 17 thousandths of a second, so not a lot. But I have the feeling he'd rather want to be up. Nevertheless, into the first, Lasmo he goes very aggressive on the turning, taking a lot of curb on exit. And towards the second, Lasmo nice and early turning, getting on the throttle as quickly as he can, foot to the floor, maximizing his line brilliantly. And let's see if he can improve in that middle sector or if he'll still be down. Gamba is still down by 7,000, so he gained a hundredth in that previous sector. Nevertheless, he wants an improvement. It's going to be rather close. Sure, he has the same time as Ka, but these are not going to be their final grid positions, so it doesn't matter if he has the same time in Q1. Only if he has the same time in Q3 or whatever session they end up eliminating together. That's when it makes a difference. But right now, no big deal. Can Gamba improve on his lap or be marginally down? He is marginally down. It says Pernin goes to the top by 2.5 tenths of a second. That was a mighty lap. And if
That
Fedeli
was
next
massive.
improves and goes 18th, he is probably out of qualifying. I don't think he'll get another run. Galloway is near the danger zone. Can he get closer to safety? Yes, he can. He goes P8. He should definitely be safe now. As Joseph Willows goes 12th fastest. Ron Mochin doesn't improve. Up next is Armar Ka, the man in 6th place. Can he improve on this lap? And the answer is a no. Nicholas Gall is on an improvement. In P20 goes to P12. Very solid improvement there. As David Kupok doesn't improve. He is out of qualifying. Chatfield improves to go 13th. Roke doesn't improve. Felix Zontag, he doesn't improve either. Amelia Wilson doesn't improve. Ulyss Anderson is on an improvement right now. Where is he going to end up? He goes 12 faster. That was a very solid improvement. As Roman Quag, will he be out of qualifying? Yes, he is out of qualifying. Oh, he will be on the back row. Jamie Griffiths, can he go better than Quag? And can he get himself to safety? Can he knock Wilson down to P17? Here goes Jamie Griffiths across the line, goes the Welshman, and he goes 20th only, so he is out of qualifying. Rahul Patel, he is on an improvement, he goes third fastest. Franco Lopez, currently in P9, and still in P9 because he didn't improve. Here we have Daniel Fraser. He is safe right now with P13, but how much further can he go? Fraser goes P9. That is a brilliant lap for the Haas man. Here we have Kuroshima De Rosa, who is in the drop zone, but improving. Can the Italian get himself to safety right here? As he crosses the line, De Rosa should be able to make it, and he does. He goes 10th fastest. That pushes Wilson into the drop zone. So it is her, Zontag, Kupok, Griffiths, Federi, and Quag who will be eliminated.
That is a pretty disappointing qualifying session for both of the Alfa Romeos, especially Federico in his whole race. Sharing the back row, almost in the second last place with his teammate. That's not what you want here. And Griffiths wasn't really happy either, since that few more laps from practice after their initial clash with his own teammate Sonntag is really making some differences on track, that's for sure. And Gal Miklos for this time around, I think this is actually one of the few times he managed to get out just get out from Q2 and beat his own teammate in qualifying, who is currently sitting in 19th position and out of the session. And Wilson just managed to miss out on Q2 after, well,
And Joseph Willows escapes. He dodged the bullet there, but he's made it through. That was a close shave. But here we have the results. As Pernin is fastest, but eliminated in Q1 are Emilio Wilson, Felix Sontag, David Kupok, JB Griffiths, Andre Federi and Roman Quagg, an absolute disaster class for Alfa Romeo today. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Q1 is over. We will take a very short break before we get going with Q2. So bear with us, guys. It won't be very long at all. Mm. Say something, guys. I'm dying of boredom.
I'm still here. No worries.
Yuri, you got anything to say?
Pomot alkeellisi lapsen tasolla.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just wait for Q2 to get started. So worry not. But that was a very interesting session. I'm not going to lie with you guys. I'm going to lie to you, sorry.
Okay.
Mm. Mhm. 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 Is it still live? We're definitely back. So that's a relief. We're getting ready for Q2. Just as Q1, no threat of rain, bone dry conditions. So without further ado, let us know your predictions. Who's gonna be eliminated? And I have to keep in mind that right now we have an Alpha Tauri, two Williams, two Alpha, and a Haas which are out. So my prediction on who is eliminated is going to be Fraser in the other Haas, Gal in the other Alpha Tauri. Then it is going to be one Ferrari, one Renault, and I'm going to say one McLaren, and finally one the Mercedes. That's my prediction. Let us know your predictions in the chat as we are green for Q2, and I want to know your prediction as well, Bance.
Well, to be honest, I'm expecting at least one of the Aston Martins alongside one of the
Oh my
Ferrari
God,
getting.
sorry. Instead of the one Mercedes, I'm going to say one Aston Martin. I completely forgot they
That
were
would.
a thing.
I was actually surprised that I didn't notice that you say that. I think one of the Aston Martins will get dropped out session surely. I'm not sure which one of them. We'll see. One of the McLarens has got a high chance of getting dropped out into Q2 as well of the other AlphaTauri of the AlphaTauris, and I would say both and that's going to be pretty much hurt the Tifosi fan and the Ferrari fans, but I would say both of the Ferraris might get a chance to be knocked out in Q2.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. as Ron Mochin is the first car out on track for this run. And we can talk about his season a little bit if you want. So, what do you have to say?
To be honest, he's actually doing a pretty decent job alongside Julius Anderson. Uh, Indeed, he's 10 points behind his own teammate, he scored a fourth position back in Portugal. Or, or, if if I'm not mistaken, of course. So he looks like Matt is trying to get the best out of the car as much as he can, but he is getting pretty often beaten by his own teammate, despite the fact that he scored for the fourth place in Portugal. Teammate Anderson is already backed to fifth places and pretty much score and more point scoring decisions than his Hungarian compatriot and teammate, of course. So
Well,
if
he
he
has started his lap. You're talking to, like you already said, you talk too much. Sometimes you talk for too long. So here we go, staying on board with this lap with Mochin. Good exit from the chicane. So let's see what his run is like for the Curva Grande. And towards the first sector split, what time is the Hungarian driver going to send? He has 10, and he sets a 25.3. We'll keep an eye out what the other drivers do. 25.2 for Galloway and 2 for Chatfield as well. So the Ferraris are faster, and he has them, but not by much. In the first sector, we're waiting for some more sector times as well. We'll be expecting Joseph Willis to post his sector time very shortly, in just a few seconds' time, as Mochin is completing the second sector now underneath the oval. And Mochin sets a 51.2 in the middle sector. Galloway goes 2 times better than that, and Chatfield goes just a few hundreds better than that. Willows went 25.0, fastest of all in that first sector. So Joseph Willows is doing quite well for himself right now. Nicholas Gall 25.3 in the first sector, Lopez 25.1, Anderson 25.1, and then 25.1 for Pernian as Mochin goes a little wide into the last corner. But Joseph Willows could be going fastest right now. Mochin sets the benchmark for everybody to beat, which is a 1 minute 20.3. Galloway should beat it, and he does by 2 tenths of a second, just under. Chris Chatfield, he goes third. He was way down. He must have made a mistake in that last sector. Has he gone deep in the parabolica? Looks like he might have.
Give me a few minutes. I need to do a few things
Oh no,
here.
he made a mistake into Variante Ascari. And he's lost a lot of time. He was up on Galloway, which is a real shame. He is now 1.2 seconds down. He might not be able to gain that back so easy. Franco Gamba goes on to provisional pole, 1 minute 20.8, not provisional pole, sorry, he goes fastest, but only 1/10 faster than Galloway is not a good look. As Rahul Patel, he now goes to second place. Willows smashes P1 by a massive margin. He sets a 119.6 as Daniel Fraser next to cross the line. And that's a very good lap given the car he's in. He goes P5. Nicholas Gal, he goes P8 only, which is last. Lopez goes now P8. Anderson P2, that's brilliant. The Aston Pernin goes third. Evan Byrne up next. He goes into third place. As you have George Rogue, what time is the Brit going to set? As he crossed the line in the Red Bull, he goes only 8th fastest. Hiroshima De Rosa goes up to P2, brilliant effort. As Laura Chan goes third. And Amarka goes 11th. So that is the first run's done. And my gosh, this is one mixed up grid. Both Mercedes are the top 10. That's quite a shocker. And
It is pretty much
the two
shocking.
McLarens currently topping the pack as we speak.
It is pretty much of a shocker to see both of the Mercs are in the drop zone at the moment, but we still have 10 minutes left in the session, so they can improve by the end of it. But so far, it doesn't look too good for them.
Not
And
just
for
that,
Chris
Julius
Sheffield.
Anderson is doing brilliantly today. He's in the top 4 in an Aston. That's pretty damn good if I dare say so myself. Meanwhile, let me read for some predictions, shall we? Dennis says both McLarens. I wonder how that's going. Gal, both Aston Martin, and Fraz. I assume that means Fraser. Joe's predictions are Fraser, Gal, both Astons, a Ferrari, and a McLaren. Hashtag bring back my Mac, or I guess hashtag bring back Joe's Mac. I'm gonna say it as well.
Oh, it is because that
There you
his
go.
computer got messed up again, to put it nicely.
Nevertheless, We still got some time in this session, and this could be a very entertaining conclusion to it.
No doubt. That's assures this Razor's Cup being pushed back to the pits as we are currently on board with Rahul Patel, who hasn't set the best of times currently, and he's at risk of getting knocked out in Q2. But 9 minutes to go, and the other drivers might got at one or two shots in the last few minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how the grid will shape up after Q2.
Yeah, it could be very fun. So we'll just have to keep an eye on what happens from here on out. What would you say is the biggest shocker so far this session, Vance? As we got a Ferrari going out as Jake Galloway.
Galloway also has to improve because he's on the edge of getting knocked out in Q2. So let's see who's going to make the cut and who will not in this last 8 minutes of the session. So
Yeah, well said.
the one who really needs to improve currently is Morjan down there because his own teammate is currently sitting in fourth position in the Aston Martin, which is way ahead. It's way off the drop zone, to say the least. So I would say if you want to make the cut, you need to run a high 119 to make sure you get safely into Q2. Below that.
Well, the entire top 10 is within half a second of each other, so it's gonna be a very close session no matter which way you slice it. It doesn't even matter who's gonna be top because that only matters in Q3, but I think everybody other than the current top 5, other than the current top 4, sorry, could be in some sort of danger. Jake Galloway begins his lap, and he has no traffic, so nothing to worry about. But let's see what he's got. George Ruggs staying in the pits on that previous run. He's on the cusp, so a little bit of a risky call there, as Galloway has a brilliant run at the first chicane. He looked very comfortable with the car there, showcasing the mechanical grip of the Ferrari. And now, Grande he goes. This car is a little bit down on power, but man, it's fast in the corner, so he's going to use it to full advantage. He's down 16 pounds a second in the first sector, though, so that's not good news for him, but he can recover. Meanwhile, Mochin also on a lap behind him. And towards the last most very wide line on the exit of the first one. I think that might have been a little bit too over the top. Line to our second last one is fine, so it's free to power down the Curva del Serralio. And towards the second sector split Jake Galloway, you can see the power deficit the Ferrari has. Look at the speed trap, and just under 2 times down. So he's not going to get an improvement. He's going to need to hope he gets enough time to get that fair run in, and pray for that improvement back then, because I don't think this lap is going to be it, Benz. I think he'll be down.
And that is not the side that he wants to see, especially as he comes around Parabolica. And well, if he can find something in the last sector, I don't think Galloway is going to improve right here. And
No, he saw nothing. 2 times down. As Mochin is on improvement, misses there in the last sector. Patel is next to finish his lap. What is the Indian driver going to do? Currently just about safe with P8. Will stay there because he doesn't improve by 2 tenths of a second. Perignon doesn't need to improve right now. He's in P6, which is safe-ish. He improves actually, go up to P5, gets a front of teammate Evan Bird. Found some time and has free as Chris Chatfield desperately needs to improve. He's down P15, and he's just gone up to 4th place with that lap. Great effort as Franco Gama goes second by 1/1000 of a second from Joseph Willows, who doesn't improve. Lopez improves by only up to 14th, so he's struggling the reigning champion. De Rosa doesn't improve. Here we have Daniel Fraser, currently in 13th in the one only remaining Haas. He is on an improvement right now, so let's see what Fraser can do. And Daniel Fraser, last sector he didn't improve. What about Laura Chunk? She improves. No, she doesn't. Armar Connex definitely needs this improvement to get in the top 10, which he does. He goes out of the top 5. Fifth fastest for Armar He should be safely through. Evan Byrne doesn't improve. Nicholas Gall, he does improve but stays 16th and last. He's way off the pace. The AlphaTauri just not quick enough here. But we're not done. Roke is also on a lap, and he is currently in the drop zone. He is P12. If he improves, he could knock Patel out and put Byrne in a little bit of danger. But here goes George Roke. Can he get that improvement? Why, yes, he can. Goes into the top 10. He is 7th, just 1,000 behind Chatfield. Let's hope he won't regret that 1,000th. But yeah, Roke is in the top 7, so currently the car is getting eliminated. Will be Patel, Galloway, Fraser, Lopez, Mochin, and Gal. What do you think, Vance?
I think, sorry to say this, but it was definitely expected from Gal. He hasn't made the cut into Q3 in any of the previous races. And seeing how
You know you got
Gavin,
your free in Monaco, right?
okay then, so that was the only exception. Thanks for reminding me of that. And I think seeing how far off the pace he is, I don't think he's going to get into Q3 either. He needs to put a magical lap and pull himself together mentally if he wants to get any shot in getting into the top 10.
I don't think that's gonna happen. He needs to find how much? He needs to find 9/10 again from. He needs to find over 9/10 again from Burn. That's not gonna happen. 3 minutes to go, of course. Some of these people are not gonna get another lap. I definitely think Roke is not gonna get another one, but I also think his current effort, might just about be safe. He's only been making it back at the pits right now. It'll take some time before he goes out. Don't forget, obviously, the outlap won't be as fast as a flyer, so I give it about roughly until the 1 minute 25 mark, give or take. I think that will be the cutoff point. So if you go out with 1 minute 25 to spare, you will just about make it. That's my opinion. So when are people going to start going out? We're just about 1 minute away from that mark I just mentioned. Any signs of movement right now?
There's
Yes,
one
there
of
are.
the
It's
balls.
Franco Gamba. He is very safely through, but I think he wants to make sure that he just gets this lap in as well. Maybe trying to set up the car for Q3. Galloway is also out on track. He is in P12. He is in the drop zone, and if he can improve on the previous lap, so if he needs an improvement, it's going to need to be now. Who else is out on track? It is Roland Moch, and he came out just behind Galloway like last time. We also have Chung out on track. So Laura Chung is out on track in the Lamborghini. The only Lamborghini through Q3 at the moment. Patel has just gone out in the other Lambo, hoping he can beat one or two Renaults to get himself to safety. Lopez is also out on track, the reigning champion, and 14th, desperate for an improvement. Pernion and Anderson are also out on track, as is Chatfield, as is Willows. So we're waiting for De Rosa, Ka, Roke, Byrne, and not Gal anymore because he's just gone out, but Byrne has just gone out as well. So only 3 people we're still waiting for. 1 minute to go in this session. Wait a minute, Byrne and Gal are not gonna make it. They got out too late, but nevertheless, Franco Gamba is starting his last flying lap of Q2. Take us through it.
Okay, so full throttle pedal to the metal. Is this one of the cars coming
You're
out
gonna
of
get traffic.
I don't think that's the Mercedes there of
That's Ka,
Michael
because
Lopez.
Lopez already went out. No, Ka, it's Ka. Lopez was already on track.
Okay, so we're going through the Kruger Grande coming into the Roger chicane. Let's see his Gamma's first second time. He's up on his personal best by 33 milliseconds. And so it will be interesting to see if he can make an improvement going to.
He might be compromised a little bit by Dirty in the middle sector, but he's not that close to Ka. In fact, he's getting a little bit slipstream here. This could help him if he wants to go fastest. He only needs to climb, he only needs to find 1,000 if he wants to get in front of Willows, of course. Checker flag is out at the end of the session, and who hasn't made it? As Gamba has gone purple in the middle sector with a little bit of a helping hand from Ka there.
But he was a little bit down on his personal best as I saw it on the timing sheet of his on
What do you mean?
display.
He was in the green.
So that would be interesting to see if he can hold this
Either way, he has to toe into the out of the parabolic. Should be able to improve and go fastest. But let's see, can Franco Gamba do it? And as he crosses the line, will the Red Bull fans cheer? Yes, they will. He goes fastest by 8/1000 of a second. Jake Galloway is out of qualifying. He does not improve. He'll be starting no better than P12 tomorrow. Ron Martin is currently down. He won't be improving. I suspect he is out of qualifying as well. Across the line goes the Hungarian. He is out of qualifying. Willows doesn't improve. Stays second fastest. Laura Chang will stay fourth fastest because she did not improve on this lap. Lopez, oh, he might miss out here. Can he improve? No, he can't. Just about. Lopez is out qualifying. Anderson improves. That is amazing. Goes sixth fastest. Patel, he's still in 11th. He does not improve. He is out of qualifying. Checker flag is out, of course. Has been out for a while. Pernian is safe for the moment. Can he improve on this lap and solidify his hold on safety? No. We're waiting for... No, Gal's coming in. Is that it?
I
Is
think
that
that
everybody?
is.
All right. So then, it's Franco Gaba fastest by a very narrow margin from Willows, mind you. But it's Rahul Patel, Jay Galloway, Daniel Fraser, Franco Lopez, the big shock perhaps, Ron Martin and Miklos Gal who have been eliminated in Q2. 3 drivers are left, 3 who went within 3.5 tenths of each other in Q2, and those 10 drivers are gonna be fighting for pole. Let us know your predictions, guys, who you got for pole, but we'll take a very short break before we get Q3 underway. And I want to know your predictions. I'm not going to go for an orthodox prediction. If I wanted to, I could say, oh, Kai is going to take pole, or Gamba is going to take pole, or Rogue is going to take pole. No, I'm going to go extremely bold. And I'm going to say Hiroshima De Rosa is going to take pole.
Well, I might as well go for a bit of a bold prediction here because there's a good I can see a good shot at that just Vernon can take pole because he's good. So it's he surely got the pace for it.
Yeah, but so does everybody else. That is to say Gamba pole. No, Kiro, I'm not kidding you. Hey, I predicted a George Rock pole last time, and I predicted a Roman Quag front row in Spain. So who knows, maybe I get it right. Maybe. Probably not. But if I get it right, you know who to thank. So yeah, don't throw laugh emojis at me. Nevertheless, Q3 is a short way away.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for the screen share to return. Funny thing, I just read in OC quotes from Evan. So, my predictions: Fraser, Gal, Biff by Joe. Who exactly is Biff? Who knows? Who cares? But some funny things in the OC Quotes channel in our Discord server. If you haven't joined the Discord server already, then what the hell are you doing? Join it. It's awesome. You should join. And yeah, Hiro says on the topic of him getting pole, if he gets it, if that will happen, I will panicking mucho. Okay. Kiro, do you want me to change my prediction? Because if you want me to predict for somebody else for pole, I can totally do that. So just let me know. Joe is going for a burn pole position, so interesting prediction there.
That is an interesting side, but nevertheless, I think Vernon has pretty much got the what it takes to get a pole position or snag pole position. I mean, I predicted that he had the Renault of just Burn to take pole position, but we'll see how things will turn out.
Yeah, should be quite entertaining. I will keep an eye out on the chat for some more predictions if we get any. But yeah. Okay, Fangchano is going for a chunk pole. That is an interesting option. Who knows? Lamborghini can be quite quick, especially in a straight line. So if they can pull it off, Should be very interesting to see, indeed. We're just gonna have to wait, of course. Well, the wait isn't gonna be very long at all because this session is underway. Green flag very shortly, and after that, 15 minutes of qualifying to decide pole position for tomorrow's Italian Grand Prix. Who's it gonna be? Are you excited? Well, I am. And let's jump on this session with me, and with Benz as well. So here we go. Green flags have been out for a few seconds. And who's gonna get it? Many different predictions in the chat. I think mine has a smaller chance of getting pole, but who knows what's going to happen. Everything can happen in Grand Prix racing, and it usually does, as the late great Murray Walker said. I think it's, quote, almost as legendary as the man himself. What do you think, guys?
I can agree with that pretty much. I watched a lot of his commentaries from the old races, so I can't really deny it.
Yeah, and as we are waiting for the first cars to go out on track, only 10 cars in this, so there shouldn't be that much traffic. Because if you remember Monza Q3s, they can get pretty crazy, but this shouldn't be one of those. Monaco has been renewed on the F1 calendar until 2025. I wasn't surprised, but I wish it was different. Kiro says for his fellow Italian brother Franco, has to be Gamba because Lopez is not Italian and he's also eliminated. So we have here his prediction as George Roque is out on track. Interesting helmet he's got there. But yeah, he is out on track, and let's see what he'll be able to do. I think he's a little bit of an underdog in this. Sure, I predicted him getting put, Hungary? And who knows, really? Do you think he has a shot at it?
I think so, despite the fact that he's currently the woodman of Franco Gamba as things stand, but it would be
I
interesting
think you
to
should
see
call him
which
that.
sort.
I think that's very rude to call him that.
I think we went.
No, I don't think George Roque is a wingman.
Sorry for being a bit harsh, George. There, George.
Michael Clark is saying, I think Lamborghini could take a famous home pole or a chunk could do it. Michael Clark, never change. Never change your style. Please change it! As George Roque starts his lap. Let's see what he's going to do. Red Bull, quick at the straight line speed is that Honda engine in the back of the car. 315 heads in towards the first corner, hard on the brakes, clipping the apex nicely, and taking a moderate amount of curb, not too much as to unsettle the car. In towards Curva Grande he goes, hugging the inside, quite aggressively I'd say, setting up the run for Variante del Roja, which is critical for lap time at the start of the second sector. It's a 1 minute, not a 1 minute, sorry, it's a 25.2, that's actually pretty bad for the first sector. But Anderson has gotten worse, as expected of an Aston though. We'll keep an eye out on the others. It's a 25.3 for Chunk, 25.1 for Arbarka, so that could be interesting. Another 25.1 for Franco Gamba is marginally faster than Ka. 25.9. Oh, is that a 9 or 0 for Perrion? And 25.1 for Chatfield, 51.1 in the middle sector for Rogue. So this is quite interesting, seeing what's going on here. But we'll take a look at the others. 25.1 for De Rosa as well, as is for Evan. But no, Evan I think I said 25.0 is that. Yeah, I think Evan might have a shot at pole. As George Roque will set the benchmark for everybody to beat. What is George Roque going to set? As Chuck is way off the pace, actually. Roque goes with a 1 minute 20.3. Anderson 6 tenths off exactly. As Laura Chung is 1 point. She's made a massive mistake somewhere on track. Where has that been? Oh, look at this. She just understeered into the second chicane. Cut the corner, but didn't gain any long-lasting advantage. She just lost the balance of the car completely, and by the rejoin, all the time she would have gained from the corner cut was lost. And then some. So a compromised lap for Chung.
That's going to put it on the first row. Here comes Amal Car. And he goes on to provisional pole so far. Here's Franco Gamba smashes
takes
provisional pole time. There's Pernin slowing into second. Here goes Joseph Willows on the stop finish. He
third
goes up to
place for
third.
him.
Chatfield
Chris
goes.
Chatfield has a good lap here. He goes third, but no one can beat Gamba so far. What about Hiroshima De Rosa as he's about to cross the line? The Italian driver. Can he delight the Tifosi in his McLaren right now? Here goes De Rosa, and oh, crikey, he's gone out to the front row, but Evan Byrne goes on a personal pole now. We're on at 19.666, and that is the first round's done.
That is a dump. That was pretty much of a banger lap for Evan Byrne. 110
Actually,
off.
it's pretty similar to the lap that was quicker. Actually, it's quite similar to the quickest lap from Q2.
Yeah, pretty much. But that was a good lap by Evan Byrne. So,
Armor said, I thought I did a good lap 7th. I understand your pain, mate. I understand your pain. Meanwhile, Michael Clark has completely jinxed Laura, so there's that. And she's very thankful to Clark in the chat for that jinx. Top 7 separated by 3/10, as Joe says. So yeah, this is definitely a very fun session already. I've only had one run in.
And we still got at least one or two shots left of the other drivers.
Well, most people will get 2, but some will miss out on the second run. Definitely everybody will get at least one more shot, though. And I think Chung needs that one more shot more than anybody.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the mistake that he made in this first flyer.
Evan 6-6, very evil time. Says get up. But yeah, Renault are finally starting to turn up in Q3, and they got one car on the front row on pole, and one car on the second row has Spaniards. So they're doing quite well for themselves right now, but this session is still far from over. Just under 9 minutes to go in this, and I wonder what's gonna happen from here on out. You still sticking with your prediction, or do you plan to change? I'm still sticking with a De Rosa miracle.
I'm still sticking with the current pole position. He's got the pace for
Okay.
it.
How do you know? You should make things up, you know. How do you know he's got the pace? Because right now he is a quarter of a second slower than his teammates, so he's gonna need to put in the work if he wants to get ahead of him.
And he's not too far. At least he's not too far off. If we can put a much better lap together, then he might as well beat his own teammate.
Yeah, but the question is, can he do that or not? It's not like saying he has the pace. We need to wait and see, of course. As Julius Anderson is the first one out on this run, he is pretty much the one guy you know won't be taking pole position. I think he's asking himself, how the hell did I get here in this Q3 session? But he has, and he's done a very good job indeed.
Here we are with
Yeah,
Julius
sorry,
Anderson.
just a little exhausted. I did have to work in the morning, so a little tired, but nevertheless, Anderson will probably drop down to last once John gets a proper improvement in. So he'll have to sell for 10th. But you never know, he might still be able to do better than that. Who knows, really?
I mean, we saw a few good qualifying sessions by him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he puts out a magical lap together again.
Who knows? Meanwhile, he's about to start his lap very shortly, and you should take us through it, Bance. Go, go, go.
Okay, then, so here we go. Oh, Julius Anderson coming across the line. There's Laura Chung's Lamborghini right behind them. We are coming into the Ritzfilio chicane. In holding after the 100-meter mark. Keep it tight on the corner, then as wide as you can, in the exit to get at the most out of corner speed and the grip. Then pedal to the metal through Kuragande. Then coming into the chicane, let's see what time he puts up. He's up on his personal best by only 71 milliseconds. That's not much, but he can still improve a little bit on his time at least. He can't really improve.
Well, he's definitely not getting a position like this.
There's Laura Chung right behind him. I don't know what time she's been running. I think behind the Aston Martin there. As here comes Julius Anderson in the second corner. And he's 2/10 up in his personal best. But I don't think he's going to improve his position. But
He needs he needs to find 6/10 in total to gain 1 place, and that's assuming Rogue doesn't improve. So yeah, not gonna happen.
He's going to currently stay in 9th, I think, but maybe.
No, I think Chang will smash that.
Yeah.
As Anderson is finishing this lap, he will stay in 9th most likely, but how much can he improve on this lap? Here goes the Swede, and he improves by 3.5 tenths, stays in 9th. Laura Chang goes 6th, so Anderson drops down to 10th. Armarka goes 4th, gets on the second row. As Franco Gamba is currently down on his personal best, he's not improving.
There's his teammate right behind him, George Rook, who's currently 9th at the moment, so he has to get a move on if he wants to get in a position. Here comes.
He's giving a lot though to Arena, as Rowe crosses the line, does not improve, but Perrin goes fastest with that massive toe. He's gone to personal. You're being too dramatic again.
What did I say?
Willows goes third, fastest.
Here's Evan Byrne. Finishing is that going to be as well?
No, he's way down.
Yeah, but so far it's a Renault 1-2 with Perrin on pole. Looks like maybe I have predicted the pole position for the young Spaniard there.
It's not over yet, As here goes Chris Chatfield, he doesn't improve.
That is another interesting qualifying in the top class. That's for sure.
Yeah, but it's not even over.
Let's see who is going to get another one lap in these last 4 minutes.
Well, I would expect Anderson to get it, but who knows really. We're just about 2.5 minutes away from the cutoff mark. And getting a car ready in 2.5 minutes. It's not impossible, but you need to get a hurry on. As here goes the mechanic, pushing Chunk's car. He sure is taking his time though, It's not like Wilson's mechanics were pushing her at insane speeds earlier. But Chunk, will she have enough time for another lap or will she not? It remains to be seen. Either way, Pernian gained a brilliant amount of tow from George Roque there, so I think you'll be thanking him for that if he can hold on to that pole position. You have Chris Chatfield, the one and only Ferrari in this session, of course. Can he put some joy on the Tifosi's faces? I'm not quite sure because I don't think he'll be going out on track in time. He's only coming into his garage now, so he's gonna get back out there in a minute and a half. I don't see that happening.
Things doesn't look too good for the Lamborghini team, so maybe the whole favorite teams like Ferrari and Lamborghini can really get a good qualifying session together, but this could change in the race tomorrow.
Yeah, who knows, really. Still too early to say, I think. The race is a whole different can of worms. That could really go anyone's way, as Laura Chang is getting ready to go out on track. There she goes. She'll be the first one out, with a minute to spare. Yeah, she will make it, comfortably, but who else will make it for that third and maybe crucial final lap? We're waiting for the others, see when they go out and everything. Kai has just gone out, so his bid for pole, or maybe not even pole, maybe for front row, is underway. If Kai gains half a tenth, he's already going to be on the second row and in front of Gamba, so I think he wants to aim for that. Anderson is also out on track. I expected him to. We're just about 25 seconds away from the cutoff, maybe less. And Pernian has gone out on track, though I don't think he might have some time. Actually, Roque is also on track as well, so I'm not quite sure. We're still waiting for the final 4 people: Byrne, Willows, De Rosa, and Chatfield. And it looks like Hiroshima De Rosa will not take pole. Franco Gamba is out on track as well. And the cutoff point is right about now. Yeah, that's it. Only the people out on track right now will make it. There we go. Someone is moving out pits, but not enough time, I'm afraid, for whoever that is. As Laura Chung will begin her final flying lap. My prediction for pole is not going to happen. Oh no, what a shame. But here goes Chung starting a lap. It was Willows who went out on track, but he's not gonna have enough time. Chung begins her lap with just a minute to spare, as I predicted. Well, just under a minute. And here we go, using the full grunt of the Lamborghini engine. Onto the front straight. Max at 314. And in towards the first chicane. Ooh, taking a lot of curb on the inside of turn 2. That might have compromised her run in a little bit. But we'll see. What's her speed for a Curva Grande like? It looks like she's not competitive. So she might yet be able to improve in the first sector, though I doubt it a little bit. She is down by 45 thousandths of a second, so I don't think this will be an improvement unless she can find some more time in S turn 3, because it was a little bit of an error in turn 2 where she took too much curb on that inside. So let's see, into second last mode, very confident. A car very balanced. The car has a lot of balance right now, and yeah, she's putting it to good use, trying to extract every single ounce of time she can still find out there. In the second sector, she's down by 10.5 though, so I don't think Chunk will be improving. 3, 2, 1, checker flag is out. That's the end of the session. We're just waiting for everybody to finish their laps, which will be 6 people because Willows and the people after that will not, uh, obviously, not get another lap in. But Laura Chung will finish her lap. Can she improve? Probably not, but will she? Heading across the start-finish line goes the Chinese driver, and she hasn't found any time. She'll be starting P8. Or worse. Armarka is not an improvement either. He's way down at the moment. Can he get that improvement he wanted so desperately? No, he cannot. He'll be starting P6 or worse. Julius Anderson, you'd have to settle for 10. Franco Gamba improves, but stays in 4th fastest. He can get in front of Willis. His Hesperian, no massive toe for him this time, but that was very close to matching his pole time. Incredible. Roke is very close to back of Pernian, he could get himself on the front row. He's under 10th. Or could even go for pole. Let's see. Can George Roke take pole away from Jesus Pernian at the last grasp? No, he can't. He goes only 3rd. It's a Renault front row lockout. And Byrne holds on to second by 1/1000th of a second. That is it. That is it. Jesus Pernian, for the second time, right? I don't think he's taken more poles than that. For the second time this season, is on pole. What a brilliant session. And he did it with toe on the first lap, but his second lap, which was without toe, would have been good enough for pole either way. So very impressive effort from Jesus there. But now we're gonna flash back, and when we get to his lap, we're gonna shut up, mute ourselves, and let you enjoy the action. You can clearly see just how much dough he got. But now it's time to go on mute.
You are currently P1, it's a great lap. Only sector you're not fastest in at the moment is the last sector by a couple of hundredths. We can't afford to slow down too much.
And that is how Hesperian took pole position for tomorrow's 2021 GP4 Italian Grand Prix. Had a little bit of a helping hand from George Rogues though at the end, but even so, with his last flying lap, it would have been enough for pole either way. So incredible effort from Pernian. if I'm not wrong, his second career pole, and I think he'll be delighted with that one. Here we go. Here's our top 10 on the grid. It's a Renault front row of Hispanian and Evan Byrne. George Roque is in third place with Joseph Willows in fourth. It's an all-British row too. It's an all-Italian row free of Franco Gamba and Hiroshima De Rosa. Another all-British row of Armarca and Chris Chatfield on row 4. There is Laura Chung in P9 and Lewis Anderson in a perhaps expected P10. But wow, that was a very intense session, Vance.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. And I was surprised that in my prediction this worked out here, as I tipped that Jesus Brennan will get his second pole position of the season, and surprise, surprise, he got.
Yeah, he did very well, and I don't think he even needed that though. But he got it for good measure to increase his advantage even further. But I wonder how Roque would feel about missing out on P2 by 1/1000th compared to Byrne. But yeah, that was a very entertaining session. What do you think, guys? But yeah, with that out of the way, don't go, because in 1 hour we will have round 9 of the F2 season at Monza, of course, the Italian Grand Prix for F2. And at the end of that race, the first ever F2 wildcard race will be revealed. So keep an eye out on that, because the wildcard race is a brand new concept that is going to be super exciting. I wish I could tell you right now, but I don't know right now because Flo is being very secretive with it. But nevertheless, and there's also the entrance series finale where Fruit Titans like Juho Sopanen and Sam Fact will fight for the title, and some other people whose names I don't quite remember. Apologies to them. But yeah, keep an eye out because we're not done with racing action. We've got F2 in just an hour's time. Then the entrance series finale tomorrow, and then the 53 lap Italian Grand Prix. But until then, that's been it from us. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you again for the next one.